Hey guys, welcome back to the Frantico Oil series in Stormworks. If you guys are enjoying this series, please leave a like down below, and if you're not subscribed, consider subscribing. Anyway, today, what are we going to be doing? Well, I think we should actually start building a helicopter, and that helicopter is going to be designed so that we can actually do some tanker operations, if that makes sense. So we'll be able to fly that helicopter to an oil rig, fill the helicopter's rear up with oil, send it to the refinery, and I guess refine the oil. So yeah, let's go ahead and start building, and hopefully we can come up with something nice that also floats, because that's gonna have to happen too. Okay, so let's go ahead and start by building a bit of a cockpit. I feel like that makes the most sense. So we're going to start with a 3x3 window that goes backwards. Essentially like a normal window on an angle, just like this. There we go. From there, we're going to have to try and figure everything else out, which may or may not be an easy thing to do. So shove this guy into there like this, bring it out to the side. We're then going to go to windows again, and I think I essentially want to use one of these to go sideways, and then I think from there we could probably just go with one of these going backwards like that. It looks pretty normal and should work fine. Alright, so I've actually added some windows right here to the sides, and now we're going to build the actual nose in. So I think I want it to be like a very sort of stubby nose, because reasons. So let's go and just shove this on here like that. There we go. We'll then make it stubby by doing something like this and this. Here we go. So if we just shove these guys on, and then we can bring it backwards using these guys again, which I think is going to be okay, but I actually don't know. Maybe it looks good, maybe it doesn't. Yeah, you know what, actually? For a helicopter, a stubby nose makes sense. Alright, so from there, we're going to go ahead and use one of these. There we go. And again, we're going to have to go with one of those like so. Yes, it looks strange, but I think overall, that's probably fine. I would then like to actually seal this off, pretty much. And obviously, I need to do the rest of these guys too. So we'll do this down to there, deleting that, and probably like this from there, so we can go sideways. That doesn't look terrible, so we'll keep it. Let's go ahead and connect all of those guys together. That's awesome. Something I think could change on this is actually if we delete these guys down here, I might be able to turn this into some sort of window, but I don't know. So let's go ahead and grab one of those, see if we can fit this in there like this, I guess, kind of, and then we can seal off the windows from there. Yeah, it may or may not be a good idea. I'm sort of thinking at the minute it's not, but we'll see. Yeah, you know what, a little window down there doesn't harm anyone. Okay, so let's go ahead and shove this guy into here. We're going to go ahead and seal this front bit off, and I'm going to do that. Okay, yes. We will do this, but this is actually the wrong window for it. We need this one instead. So if I shove this into there, like this, there we go, and now that looks better. Interesting. Okay, I've added this little thing to the outside because I thought that might be nice, but actually, I'm almost certain it would be a better idea to delete this bit right here. Add more windows that are a little bit down there. There we go. So we can just shove this into here like this. And yeah, the more vision we've actually got, or the more view we've got, the better, essentially. So we're going to go with it. I'm then going to go ahead and attach this guy onto there like that. And I'm going to add a window going across the top. And that should look fine. Just like this one. There we go. Although actually, you know what? Let's do it with the 1x3. Yes. There we go. From here, we're going to go ahead and add a bit of a roof. So if I can, which I can't, I'm going to go ahead and do this. Oh no, I can do this. Shove that guy onto there like that. Build it across. I'm actually thinking we might be able to get away with this. We might not. I'm not sure. But if we do this with 1x2 wedges, and we turn it around, bring it out to the side, and then we do this, then we have a much nicer shaping as we go backwards, which, yeah, actually does totally work. Sure. Okay, so far so good. So all this thing really needs to do is float, fly, and carry fuel, or oil. So, like, it has a few jobs, but it should be able to do them, hopefully. So, how are we going to power this thing? Well, it's going to be powered by a jet engine, because, why not? And this might be literally, like, the first actual, like, vehicle in any of my career modes that is powered by a jet engine. Is that mad? I think that's pretty mad. Anyway, compressors next. There we go. Then we go for the combustion chamber, and then we go for the turbine. Let's go ahead and shove that onto there, like so. Okay, that looks pretty large on the top of this thing. I'm sure it's fine. Although, looking at it, it is actually a very, very large thing, so maybe it's not actually fine. Who knows? Anyway, attach all of this to there. I'm actually gonna... Oh, I don't know what I should do here. Nah, delete that. The best way of doing this would be to continue this around. So that guy's gonna go there, that guy's gonna go there. We're then going to shove these guys on. I'm going to do the exact same thing on the roof, because that should make it look better. And then, I don't really know. Doing one of these might be nice. So if we shove that on there like that, yes, okay. And then I'd actually really just like this to go down into this. Like that sort of thing. Which, you know, isn't necessarily a bad idea, but that looks weird. That looks weird as. It looks so weird. Send this guy backwards. Send this guy upwards from here. And we'll do this going backwards from there. But yeah, I'm not sure how I feel about that just yet. Oh, it looks like it's just jammed on the top of that. Which it is. But like, it doesn't look right. You know what? Let's just roll with it. We are just going to roll with it. This is going to be the rear of the helicopter, which looks insane. But if that gets brought down to like there, we then extend this guy backwards a little bit further, and that's where the tail rotor is going to go. Sure, why not? Let's just roll with it, and hopefully, in the end, it will work and look nice at the same time. I don't know how true that's going to be, but here we go. Send that guy down to there, attach all of these guys together like this, and that looks weird as heck. Okay, so what are we going to do from there? Well, we're actually going to have to add a floor. I do think the floor could go a little bit further down, but we're not going to do that right now. Let's go ahead and send this guy upwards by about 2. Yep, we're then going to do that there, and actually we're just going to do this too. So, shove this guy in here like this. Bosh. Shove that guy into there like that. There we go. And I think from there we're going to do this, which then means we're going to do this, and then we need to build it backwards from there. Okay, so I'm trying to do this nicely, but I am never, ever very good at doing this, but I'm going to try my best. So, if I keep sending this backwards like that, and then we attach these guys to the back end like this, we're going to have a bit of a chunky bit on the back. But at the same time, I think even the chunky bit actually doesn't look terrible. So, as long as it doesn't look bad, we're going to roll with it, which, yeah, hopefully it's fine. Shove these guys onto there like that, there we go, shove another one there. We're then going to have to use these guys again right here, and we just need to connect that together like this. Oh, and then that little piece right there needs filling in, so we'll just do this. Okay, right, does that look okay for a helicopter? Maybe. Okay, so that is where we are currently at. We've got ourselves a cockpit, we've got the main fuselage done. I do think I want some, like, side pontoons. Obviously, this thing is going to have to land in water, so side pontoons does make a little bit of sense. And then we need to have it be, like, stable. We need a fuel tank somewhere inside this thing. We then need a cargo tank inside of this thing. We need a rear propeller so that we can actually fly it properly. We need a top propeller, obviously, again, so we can fly it properly. And hopefully that'll be fine. So, gearbox, let's go and shove that onto there. We're then going to go to propeller, and we need to shove an actual propeller on top as well. Is that about the right size? I guess. We're going to make it slightly smaller, 20%. We're going to go with 3 blades, or 4. Let's go 4, and it's going to be neutral. Okay, what does that look like? Ooh, I don't know. Do we like it? Sure. Okay, so I do want some pontoons. I'm actually going to start those pontoons just behind the cockpit, because that's where most of the weight is actually going to be. And I guess it's going to go all the way back to there. So if we delete these guys, we shove this onto here like so. There we go. Excellent. We actually bring it out a little bit more than that. And possibly a little bit more than that. There we go. Obviously shove this guy onto here as well. And do this. There we go. And do... that might be too far. Yeah. Alright, cool. Delete those. Let's go ahead and do this on here, sending it across. And this on here again, sending it across. We're then going to bring it back in, because that's how this works. And... yeah, that looks fine. And that looks fine. Okay, cool. On the inside bits, we're going to delete those. And again, we're literally just going to have it go in. So let's do this and this. We'll do this and this. We'll fill all of this in, sort of, like so. And then we're just going to build it back in using these guys like that, pretty much. Send it from there forwards, from here across, and we're going to go ahead and do this across as well. There we go. Honestly, I think that works. Yeah. It's not going to have any normal landing gear. It's just going to have floaties, but overall, I think that actually looks pretty good. On the bottom side of that, we're going to go ahead and use wedges so that we have the most air possible. And I'm assuming that if we put this in the water almost, almost now, it will actually float. As long as I fill in all of the holes first. So that's filled. That's filled. Everywhere else looks fine. Alright, so just a few more things to make this thing, to make sure this thing is stable. We are going to go ahead and delete this and this. We're also going to delete this and this. And on the insides, we're going to fill these in with this and that, this and this. And I guess if we had some control surfaces, we can make this thing relatively stable in the water. So do this and this, and that and that. There we go. Spawn it in, what does that look like? Oh, yeah. Full of fuel and or oil. That won't really float too well. But honestly, right now, that's pretty sick. Alright, so I want these pontoons on the sides to be fuel tanks, which is a bit mad. But yes, in order to do that, I'm going to go ahead and have them connected via this guy. We're then going to go ahead and go to the inside, and I'm going to do essentially this, which is a bit mad. No, maybe not that. Oh no, yes, we'll do that, sure. And then we'll see if that's okay. I think it will be. I think it will be. So this will be a fuel tank on this side, this will be a fuel tank on this side, and in the center, we don't have anything. And then right here, we've got a connector, which will connect both fuel tanks together, making them one fuel tank. Okay, I guess that's fine. Maybe. I guess that's fine, maybe. So, all we need to do now is go to fluid. I am going to go ahead and spawn it in with fuel inside, and we'll see what that is like. Because it might be a bit mad. Alright, so the meter is going to go on this side, just like this. And the spawner is going to go inside the other one in the same area up there. There we go. So now it's got fuel in it. Let's go ahead and spawn it in. Yeah, it's a lot lower than it was, but that's okay. Alright, so what we can do now is we can actually go in and we can get some pivots. We'll see if the pivots actually help here. They might also not help. But let's go ahead and shove one there, one there, one there. Actually, one there, and one there, and one there. There we go. I need to do this on both sides, of course. Hold on. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. And we're also going to go ahead and do it on the inside too. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Sure. And we're going to do 1, 2 there. Okay, spawn it in. Let's see what this looks like. So it is still low in the water, which is fine. I think we can fly this. I think so. For a helicopter, I would say that's actually pretty good. The only issue that we're going to have is I actually want to turn these into actual doors. And if I do that, we're going to have some serious issues. Because what I want to do is delete this and this. I want to put a pivot right there. And I essentially want to connect it all to that. When I say it all, I mean this guy is going to be connected to there like this. There we go. This guy is going to be connected to here like that. This guy is going to be connected to there like this. And this guy is going to be connected to there. From there, we're going to delete all of these. And I'm going to shove this onto there like so. And this onto there as well. And those are actually going to be doors. Yeah. The problem is, of course, that if those are doors, I'm going to have to delete these guys. We're going to have to seal off the back of the aircraft. In a different way. Interesting. This is very interesting. If we go for doors, I can maybe go for a hinged door. Try and shove it into here. And then, maybe that'll be fine, actually? Right, spawn it in again, let's see. Alright, so it is still floating, it's just the front end is obviously underwater. Which is where we're going to be sitting, so maybe that's not a good idea. Right, so because I can't think of any other way to actually do the front, I want these doors to be here. We should probably add some like skis and stuff in order for this thing to be able to land in certain places, for example, oil rigs. So that's what I'm going to do next. A ski is going to be located right here on the front. Just like that. We're then going to add 2 skis back here, just like this, and that's how this thing's going to be able to land on actual land, which is fine. From there, we're going to go to here-ish. There we go. We're going to add a button, toggle button, 2-sided. That'd be good. There we go. Shove that on there like that. We then need... I'm going to actually add a handle onto here. Yep, a handle. There we go. And that's going to go on there like that. And then we need some switch boxes, and we'll just make it work. Here we go. Switch box. We'll shove that. We have room. We don't actually need to get into the back of this aircraft either, do we? But that doesn't really matter right now. Anyway, that's going to go there. This is going to go here. That's going to go there. And that's going to go there. And the on value is going to be 0.7. 0.7. Sure. 0.7 is fine. On value, 0.7. We're then going to need a battery, of course. So let's go ahead and get one of those. And I'm going to shove that in the rear of the aircraft. All the way back there. Okay. We're then going to connect the electricity to everything. And that should be fine. Connect it to there, and here, as well as this, and this. Okay, so now if I spawn in, we jump down into the water, I should be able to open up the front cockpit door, and that will be fine. Here we go. Open Chassamu. Oh my god, it goes inwards. It needs to be minus. Minus 0.7 and minus 0.7. It should work this time. Alright, here we go. Bam! Alright, that's actually probably too open, but yes, I suppose that actually totally works. So, how about we have this thing be a land-based helicopter? However, it is able to float in the water. So that's just like an extra, if that makes sense. It's just because at the minute we don't actually have anywhere we can take off from land. So that's a bit of a problem. But other than that, this thing will probably be fine, I guess. Right, I'm going to have that value be a lot less. We're going to go with 5. There we go. And 5 as well. Excellent. So save this as the Frantico Oil tanker helicopter. We're then going to need to actually build a tank into this where we can put... wait, actually, is that... Does a gearbox... Wait, I'm really confused. If I put a pipe in there, will it float better? I don't think so. I think the gearbox or the actual engine is filling in that hole, but maybe it's not. Yeah, it totally was. Okay, cool. Cool. Right, we need a tail rotor. Let's go ahead and figure that out. There, I guess. We could go with that. I'm not actually entirely sure I should, but it looks a bit small. I'm not going to lie. That looks tiny. Also, I do think we should maybe extend this backwards a little bit more. So instead of doing this right now, let's go ahead and grab this guy. Down to there, up to there, and across to here. Cut it, move it backwards about 5 or something. Paste that back in, bring this back to here. Fill that guy in there. Merge this together, and yeah, we need like an actual propeller on there, I think. So we'll probably end up going with an actual propeller instead of a tail rotor. Is that a good idea? I don't know. I actually don't know. Small propeller, that's huge. Rotor end light. Yeah, I'm thinking actually one of those probably makes more sense. Obviously, it's going to be neutral. Blade length, I'm going to bring it down to 40, and it's going to be like that. Okay. Shove this guy into there. I don't know. I don't know how I feel about that. It does just look like an aeroplane propeller. But sure, we'll have it on there for now. And I think that's fine. Why not? Nope, don't like it. Do not like it. We're going to go for a tail rotor instead, which is definitely a lot smaller than what we want, but hey ho, there you go. Shove that on there, that's fine. And we are going to make it 3 blades instead of 4. Spawn it in. Maybe it doesn't look too... It looks tiny. It looks so small compared to the aircraft. Yikes. Okay, you know what? I think that works. We now need to figure out where the actual oil rig is, because I thought I'd seen it the other day, but actually that was the one where we build it ourselves. I'm not going to do that just yet. Yeah, I might never do that. We'll see. But yes, that is down there. I want to be able to fly to an oil rig, though. And I feel like the closest oil rig... I don't even know where it is. I don't know. Like, that's the refinery right there. What's this? No. I don't know where any oil rig actually is. That's sort of mad. Oh, there's one all the way down here. Oh, wow, that's far. That is so far away. I've chosen, like, the worst map for this, haven't I? That's insane. I'd have to fly from here all the way down to there to then come back. There must be another oil rig somewhere, but I'm not seeing it. Does anyone else see it? There's an oil rig there. I can't see the other one. What? That's madness. It can't just be that one, surely. Oh my. Okay, I found the other one. I found it. So it's actually just south of that one. It is right here, oil rig. So we can actually fly down from here, down to there, and then straight up to here to sell it. Okay, that's fine. Yeah. I don't know how I feel about this. I'm not sure. Okay, so I think what I'm going to do now is actually make some sort of tank for this, because obviously we are going to have a tank soon that will be able to carry oil, I guess. So let's go ahead and shove all this in. We're going to add a huge wall right here. There we go. And I'm just going to go ahead and do this across the top to about that point right there. We're then going to delete this guy, shove this in right here, and there we go. In order to test it, we're going to get a fluid meter and a spawner, and that'll be fine. So meter, let's go and shove that in here, and spawner, we'll shove that in here as well, wherever that is. Where are you? Spawner. This is going to like sink like a rock, like it is just going to go down, but I'm hoping that that's okay. We might be able to sort something out. So instead of spawning in anything useful right now, we're going to spawn in fresh water, and the same thing in here as well. Okay, spawn it in and watch it sink. Oh. Okay, I mean, to be fair, that is not terrible, but it's obviously not the best. How do I make this float better without making it look super ugly? Okay, so what if we had this going on? This is kind of a strange way of doing things, but what if we did actually do this out to the side? We then go with this guy going downwards like this, and then we build a full-on like pontoon thing out to the side on each side. It's a bit odd, but maybe it'll work. Okay, so just to test it before we do it for real, there we go. I've added some little like pontoon thingamabobbies, and they're not really making us float any higher, but I don't know, maybe they are. That's not terrible, but it's not really going to work out, is it? I don't know how I feel about this. Alright, so what we're going to do instead then is we're actually going to make some pontoon thingamabobbies, and we're going to hope that these will actually work out. I'm sure they might. I'm sure they might. Right, let's go ahead and delete these. There we go. We're going to have this be a little bit wider than I was going to make them, but there you go. Send that out that way. Send this guy out this way, and yeah, essentially I'm making some huge pontoons that are going to be a little bit out of the water. No, a little bit in the water. That's what I mean. Okay, pontoons added, and it's still not really good enough, to be honest. I wouldn't really want to be landing this thing in water very much. It would be nice if we could have the water out of the cockpit, but if this is how it's going to stay, then this is how it's going to stay. Also, can't open that door when we're in the water either, because that causes issues. The only other thing I can think of doing is actually maybe not having this open and having it be built differently, but I don't know how I feel about that. Maybe adding the hatch in the roof and having to go in through the top, but that means always going past the propellers, and that's not really a good idea in a helicopter. I don't know. What do we do? Alright, so I think what I'm going to do now is I'm actually going to go ahead and change the entire color of the entire helicopter to be this color. Oh, no. This color? Yeah, sure. We're going to go with that for now. We're then going to try and figure out where our other colors should go, and the inside of the cockpit is going to be more grayed out. So I'm going to go ahead and do gray right there. We're going to have gray put up there and on here and here, as well as on the sides just a little bit. There we go. We're then going to paint this piece and this piece and this piece. Whoa, not that bit. And we're going to do that bit right there as well, because we can. So there we go. Hopefully that looks a little bit nicer. I like the idea of actually painting most of this in, to be fair. So I am actually going to go ahead and do... no, you know what? No. I am going to do this bit though, and this bit, and that bit, and these bits right here, 1, 2, 3, because that will make it look a lot nicer than it currently does. But yes, we can figure this out. We can totally make this work. I'm sure of it. Okay, so I have no idea what I'm going to do here then. It's strange, because obviously with this thing needing to hold oil and stuff like that, it's important that it does actually float at least a little bit, I suppose. But I don't want it to look super duper ugly, because that would also be a bad thing. But I suppose if it can take off from the water, and actually fly, then that's fine. And if it can land on the land as well, that's fine too. Anyway, for now, I'm going to end the video. Thanks for watching. See you next time. Goodbye.